services deduction, since that's tied to the half-cent sales tax, what happens after the temporary sales tax expires?
That will go away. That is a correct observation.
How sustainable a plan is this?
And so let me just say on the state central services, right now the balance is $53.3 million. And so this transfer, and the balance has been going up. So this is a very reasonable transfer, and it has been growing in terms of the balance. This will continue until the tax goes off, which is, at that point, you've got a half-cent sales tax being collected for our bond issue that is still 6-7 years down the road? 7 years down the road. And so, obviously, at that time, you've got a change in circumstances. You're losing a half-cent sales tax. What the voters decide at that point is undetermined. But so we have 7 years, which is about as far as you can plan in state government.
How sustainable a plan is this? It's relying pretty heavily on what's considered one-time funds. With the working group, when they were talking about generating money, they were talking about $110, $160 million a year annually. This is still below that, and it's relying a lot on one-time money. I guess how sustainable is that?
It's sustainable and it's adaptable. And that's the benefit of this plan. That, it is, and let me rephrase that, it is realistic and it is adaptable, and I believe it is sustainable. It's a good plan for as long as we can reasonably forecast. It may have to be adjusted, and that's what governance is about, is making adjustments based upon changing circumstances. So we don't know whether the historical precedents will maintain with $48 million available. That's really the only fluid part of that. And so, if the revenues don't maintain, it probably means we shouldn't be raising taxes either. But it means that we have to adjust and do other things.
Governor, if surpluses are what they economy, so if the economy were to this be possible.
You said sales taxes?
The surpluses in the state budget are largely the economy doing well, growing. So if the economy were to tank, would this still be possible?
Well, when the economy tanked in 2008, the 2009 surplus is zero. So sure, the economy has an impact on it. But the surplus is also impacted by a conservative approach to governing and budgeting. And that's the approach that we've taken. And that's part of the reasons that we've had, other than that 1 year, significant surpluses that covers rainy day, but also covers other obligations of our state. So the growth of the economy is important, absolutely.
So what do you mean? Everybody uses the word transparency, but I'm not sure what you mean by asking the Highway Commission to be transparent.
Well, they're troubled by that too, because they don't understand what I mean. Because they know full well what they're doing and the reason for it. They're actually transparent within themselves, but I think there's just a lack of understanding on the public's part and even on policymakers' part as to how they function and how the money is distributed. And so I just asked them to internally review that, to be open to suggestions and changes. For example, the legislature believes that there can be more efficiencies in the highway department. This gives them an opportunity to say we're one of the most efficiently operated departments in the United States. But whenever there's general revenues that flow toward the highway department, I think it's a good thing for legislators and the public to have opportunity to really ask questions about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how they're managing it.
Will the highway department be the one filling in the potholes at Dick Stevens?
I want, not the highway department. Their secretary head, no. All right, is there any other question for the media?
So one special session or two?
Oh, I'm sorry. We have one fiscal session. In terms of special sessions, I would expect two special sessions, just breaking them apart for two different purposes and then different agenda items that we need. Thank